Hello, everybody. Yes, Dave, you were first. Oh my goodness. Yes. Good evening. Good evening. Hugs to you, Connie. Oh, it's your Canadian Thanksgiving? Cool. I did not know that, Alicia. Well, happy Thanksgiving to you. So October 11th. Okay. I don't even think it says that on my phone. Probably because I'm not Canadian. So I just want to see if um it's like the celebrated Columbus Day and then Indigenous Peoples Day. So that's all it says on my phone. But welcome, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, I am so tired tonight. I have been up since 1 o'clock this morning and traveling all day. I just spent um, the week in New Orleans at a conference. So it was, hey, Alicia. So I've been very, very busy and not home doing any homesteading stuff. But anyway, what has everybody else been up to? Hey, Parker. Hello. Good evening to you. Gil, hi. How are you? You didn't mean a kissy face. That's okay. I will take all the kisses and hugs that you guys can throw at me. That's fine. Well, JB Novaks, hello. Now you're from Boston. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thrifty VG, hello. Good evening to you. Oh, starting to get people rolling in here. That's good. That is wonderful. So, Alicia, you changed up your picture, didn't you? That's pretty cute. Grammy Karen, hi. Now, did you go to HOA with the kids? Because I know you travel everywhere with them. But I was just wondering if you did and how was it? Connie, you were hiking and looking at lighthouses this weekend. How fun. Awesome. Oh, CFC. Okay. All right. Today is your birthday. Oh, well, happy birthday, Parker. Hello. And happy birthday. And I'm so glad that you're here. So, what have you done special for your birthday or are going to do or whatever? Would love to hear that. Hey, Michigan Daffodil, how are you? So, oh, welcome to everybody. I'm probably going to be very, very scattered here tonight because my brain is just like mush, kind of shut down. Family movie night with fire and pizza. Oh, that sounds great. That sounds wonderful. That sounds really, really good. I got some more seeds this last week, or some came in before last week, but I think most of them were like maybe Tuesday. So anyway, I will share some of these with you. I've gotten a new catalog. I mean, it's like a little catalog type thing. And I've never ordered from these people before. So let me know if you've ordered from them and if they turned out really good. It's called Totally Tomatoes. And I mean, if that cover doesn't appeal to you or what, for all the things you can do. And I mean, they've got lots and lots of tomatoes. tomatoes all over the place. And they also have like peppers and green beans. But I mean, they have let me see where it ends here. Page, over half the book, 37 pages, 38, 39, 40 pages of just tomato seeds. Just tomato seeds for 40 pages. And that's pretty awesome. But yes, then some peppers, and I mean, their pictures are so pretty too. Very, very bright and vibrant. And yeah, they've got lots and lots of peppers in here. And then they go into like some cucumbers and cauliflower and all that kind of stuff in there. But anyway, I ordered 3 kinds of tomatoes from them. There's three kinds, yeah, I guess you could say. One was Henderson's Pink Ponderosa. So see how they are. They're an 80-day tomato, and they're a pink, extra large pink beef steak. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to start like incorporating different colors of tomatoes in with my tomato sauce rather than just one kind. So I would assume it would bring in different flavors too. So, which might add some dimension to my tomatoes and my sauce and everything. So anyway, I'm going to try that. So a beef steak, Henderson's Pink Ponderosa, and all of these are packed for 2022. So it's going. You didn't go. They were going to leave the kids there and have a date weekend. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it worked out well for everybody then, Grammy Karen. And then this one is an heirloom cherry mix, and it's only 70 to 80 days. So hopefully that would be, and I believe it's just a mix of like the yellow, orange, purple, red, whatever, and just one little cherry mix all in one plant, so I don't have to plant 3 different plants. And then the other one is a Dixie Golden Giant. So that one takes a little bit longer. It's 85 to 100 days. So that one I'm going to have to start earlier inside. But yeah, it says start seed 5 to 7 weeks prior. So I'm probably going to have to go like 8 weeks at least on that one. But anyway, there's a giant beef steak golden tomato. So I have pink and gold, and I've got lots of packs of reds and everything. So anyway, just to kind of round out my tomato seed supply and everything. So it'll be kind of fun. I can understand that, Grandma Karen. Yeah, having just a weekend at home, not having to be doing anything. But Dixie, oh, that's fun. That is fun. That's a cute name. What kind of dog do you have, Michigan Daffodil? That would be. All right. And then from Baker Creek, I got 2 lettuces. One is the Cosmic Crimson. Aren't those gorgeous? Look at that lettuce. I mean, you almost really don't even need anything else in a salad bowl with those colors. I think that's just I figured that out, Michigan Daffodil, so that was great. Yeah, I just like I'm not going to grow lettuce inside this year anymore. With it attracted so many gnats and fruit flies and everything, and I'm just now starting to get rid of them, and they just kind of took over. So I figured, unless I absolutely have to be growing inside, if I can't purchase anything from the store or something like that, then I'll try to find a way. But I'm just going to wait until spring and get them in there. So Dave, you had to step away for a minute. Monique is home from, okay. Oh no. Oh, gallbladder. Oh, wow. Well, Dave, I will be praying for her. A sister-in-law who had to deal with that, and she felt 500% better after she did that. So, um, for 10 years, wow. And they didn't find that out before this. I'm sorry. Oh, goodness sakes. But I'm glad that she's got a diagnosis. That's good. So she's a mutt, sort of a German Shepherd color, short hair, one brown eye, one blue eye. Well, she sounds like a keeper to me. Absolutely. So then my other salad is the Rocky Top lettuce. And I had started growing these because Sarah at Living Traditions had such great luck and they loved it. And it is a great mix. It's a great blend. So you see these two blends. I mean, some of them look like they're a little bit the same, but just all that lettuce going in there together. Throw a few fresh strawberries in there and some feta cheese. Ooh, some vinaigrette dressing. Oh my goodness, it'd be so good. Exactly, Grammy Karen. That is, yeah, their pictures are so great. And you know what? That is what sells really when people see this visual of this beautiful vegetable or fruit or something, they're going, oh, I want to be able to get that. I want to grow that, you know? And it's, I mean, you see this catalog with all of these tomatoes on here, and it's like, oh my goodness, I don't know which one to grow. They all look so great. And even though these aren't really big ones, I mean, they're still so great. Hey, Matt and Sarah, hello. You had yours out 2 years ago. Okay, Alicia. Yeah, probably does take a little while to do that. So, yeah, exactly, Karen. Recipes sell that. So to add to my squash garden, to try some things, I got this honey boat delicatas because I love being able to have a boat of something and just fill it with stuff and have a meal right in there. And these are small. They does it say how big they get? No, but I know that they're not very big. I mean, they look like they might be big, but I think they're actually like 5 to 7 inches long or something. But I know Julie has grown these. I don't know if anybody else has grown these or not. So, um, okay, Dave. Well, that's good to know. Yeah. So, Connie, how long are these generally? I mean, because I know that you cut them in half and then you scoop out the seeds, but then you bake that with a lot of other stuff that you can load into it, butter and maple syrup and ground beef and, whatever else you want to throw in there. So, um, it's possible, Dave. I'm not sure. 6 to 8 inches long. Okay. That's what I was thinking there. It doesn't say I think it said in the catalog, but not, or even on the website, but not there. So, all right. And then just for some fun, some lemon squash. And I believe these are summer squash. So just some little ones to have some fun with. I mean, it's just me. So getting these huge summer squash and zucchini and stuff, there's no way I can keep up on them. So 6 to 8 inches long, 3 inches thick. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that sounds really fun. Sounds really good. So, now are the delicata? They're a winter squash, right? It doesn't say here. It just says one of the sweetest squash varieties in existence. And that's it. It doesn't say if it's summer or winter. Hey, Big Dreams Homestead, how are you? Anna Marie, how are you doing? Yes, I do have some ideas for it. So, And I know that these do really well on a trellis. That's what I've seen and heard from people. So I mean, that goes well. And then the creme de la creme from several people. I have heard that this is the best tasting squash ever. The candy roaster. And these things get huge. So these would be a winter squash that I would, I think they're winter squash. They're North Georgia squash. It doesn't say how long the maturity is, but I think it's a winter squash because the rinds become hard and everything else like that. So you have to let them do that. But they're huge. These can be. I know Julie at Heaven's Essentials. Hers weighed average of 12 or 13 pounds per squash. And she said they are the best tasting. So Matt and Sarah, you can get one of these and feed your family for 2 meals. Just saying. Oh, and then my freebie one was a blue basil. But yes, they're definitely huge. So I have more squash, and I've got really everything that I really need. Probably will need some bean seeds eventually, but I don't know if I'm going to need to grow them next summer. I'm trying to let my purple beans go to seed. I don't know how they're going to do because we've had such a warm fall and everything. So once they're hard and I harvest them, I'll have to see if they got moldy or not or anything like that. So yes, they're very, very big. So you cut delicata in slices and bake them with maple syrup. Drizzle. Dave, there you go. You got your maple syrup. Or Matt and Sarah, your honey. But yes, the delicata. Wouldn't that be fun? I mean, to have a delicata pizza. Ooh. Fill it with pepperoni. Fill it with cheese. Would your kids like that? Have a little pizza boat? That'd be so fun. So I'm thinking about all ideas for myself here. So you're right. Maple makes everything better. Absolutely. So before I get into our topic for tonight, oh, Anna Marie, that's funny. Oh, yes, it's like bacon. Well, bacon and maple syrup, it's just, I love it when I have like bacon and then something that I've had to have maple syrup on, whether it's like French toast sticks or whatever. It's good when it mixes, kind of runs around your plate and mixes with your eggs and stuff like that too. But when it touches your bacon, it's like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. Maple and bacon donut. Ooh. Yep, maple bacon. Look out. Fill it with sausage, peppers, and onion. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I have to have all kinds of ideas going here. Whoever has grown delicatas, can you tell me how long they last on the shelf? Because need to let them cure for the rind and everything. So, are they like a short-term storage, like 1 or 2 months, or will they last 4 or 5 months? That would be nice. So it's supposed to be 23 there tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Wow. Canadian donut, maple and bacon. Absolutely. What is it? Right now it's about, I don't know, 58 or 60 degrees. We're now like in the 60s for the highs, 40s for the lows. But we have a date coming up here, not too far down the road, 4 or 5 days, that the high is in the 40s and the lows in the 30s. So kind of getting close to that freezing point, but we haven't hit a frost yet. So you eat the delicata too fast. Okay, well, thanks, Connie. I appreciate that. Um, that's good to know, though. That means that they're really, really good. Very, very good. So, okay, wanted to talk about my garden tip. I'm going to give these first tonight. So, garden tip, keep um, track of what you grew this year. We've talked about that before, how to write it down and everything. But keep track of what you grew, how it produced. Did you like the variety? Would you grow it again? All these kind of things. And it's like all of this information will help you to plan for next year. But, you keep thinking, well, I'll remember about this and this seed was good, or I'll remember that. Trust me, in 6 months, you will not remember. And so make notes, even if you have to, write on the package with a marker or put a sticky note on it or something like that and just make a note. It's like, this one did not grow well for me, or I need to plant this in the sun or in the shade, vice versa, or this was a super one, grew fast, grew well, was healthy, tasted great. Whatever notes you need to have so that whatever seeds you have left over, you can do that again. Cops and Donuts business in Michigan make mini donuts. Oh, oh, oh! That's the name of the business, is Cops and Donuts. That is cute. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, Alicia, sounds like yeah, you guys are getting ready for a freeze there. The weather has been so crazy. Um, your kids ask why you can't can pears this year. Oh, boy, they remember everything, don't they? It's like, we did pears last year, Mom. It's like, oh. So are you going to try to get a hold of some? I don't I don't even know at this time of year if they'd even be available. So yeah. Anyway, okay, a prep tip. As you take your garden down and store equipment for the winter, take stock of items that need to be replaced, whether they're rakes or hoses or, um, fencing or hand tools or, beds that need to be replaced or whatever it is that is going to need work um, next spring. Allow yourself that time to be able to start gathering the materials. Now, if you're in a climate where you can do all the replacement, like especially if it's infrastructure repairs or replacements or something like that, and you're in the South and you can do that through the winter, fantastic. We can't here. So if you're not able to fix things and take care of them, say you want to add a trellis or something like that. If you're able to put that in the fall, super. Otherwise, just work on getting the materials through the winter so that when planting time comes in April or May or June, whatever it is, that you're not all of a sudden scrambling going, oh, I want to put this up, put up that and everything else. And you're putting out a lot of money to get this done all at one time. And everybody else is doing the same thing, and you may not be able to get a hold of what you want. And therefore, that kind of really stunts what you're trying to do and how you want to grow your, not only grow your veggies, but grow as in expand your garden and your production and different things like that. So even if it's like buckets or garbage cans for feed or, different things like that. Maybe you've had them all in plastic garbage cans and you're starting to find out that mice are chewing through them or something like that. And you want to get metal cans, just figure out what you need and make a list of it, and then just pick away at it as you can. You can even ask for some things for Christmas if you wanted to, Um, you tell them maybe apples. Ooh, that would be good. I'm making applesauce too. Lots of applesauce. You plan to start. Oh, nice, Dave. Very good. Turn 6 plants for $10 to 50. Look at that. Propagating your own, expanding it out. Very, very good. Very good. You'd love to find some discounted potting soil. Isn't that the truth? That stuff is expensive. Oh my goodness. So, anyway, that was my garden tip and prep tip. So now I want you guys, tonight I want it to be open up to discussion for what your vision is and what you guys are thinking of for the future. I know we don't have all that many people in here, but I've shown this book to you before. It's called The Backyard Homestead. I put the link in the description below. There's a whole series of these. This one is how to grow your food on just a quarter of an acre. There's one that's like for DIY projects or homestead projects, another one for raising animals, another one for, I think they have four or five books in the series or something. So, it's kind of cool. You have the book on your wish list. Great for Christmas, right? Right, Dave? Good for you. They have like actual diagrams in here, like homestead on 1/10 of an acre. So they even give you the dimensions. Like this one is 50 by 87. Yep. So 50 feet this way by 87 feet that way. And it shows, an average size of a house, but the things that can be put in here for growing and what you can actually grow. And then they list here about how much can fit in. And they said that you could put in 8 vegetable beds that are each 4 by 8. Various fruit trees, grapevines, berries, herbs, like a whole herb bed, 6 chickens. You could do rabbits, 2 beehives. So there, even if you have a small lot in town, you have a little bit of stuff, then you can do that. I think they have, this would be like the front of their property, so people aren't seeing all of this. But look you've got a little space for the chickens here. You've got the coop that they can stay in and lay their eggs. So here they can be outside and getting their bugs in the dirt. So it's pretty cool. And then the next page they have homestead on a quarter of an acre. And so they give the dimensions of what a quarter of an acre is, and then a half acre. And a half acre, you can actually start to get like a cow and goats or whatever. So, and they tell you exactly about how much can be grown on that amount of space. And it's just, you can see how close together they have things and how well they're using their space. So, not that you have to use this exact plan or anything, but it gives you a good idea of, it doesn't take much space. You don't need 25 acres to be growing enough food for 4 people. There's so much that you can do. The first thing to think about when you're thinking about growing food there, having animals, all that kind of stuff, trying to develop your homestead or expand it out, is find out what your zoning laws are first, especially if you're in the city limits, and then even check with your neighbors, like if you're planning on having some chickens, just like, is this going to bother you? I will have them far away from your fence, or something like that. And, try to do whatever you can with that. So I'd like to know, yes, what your plans are from where you are at now. If you're just in an apartment and you have maybe 3 little pots of herbs or something, where would you like to expand from there? What are your plans and your dreams for this next year or for 5 years from now or something? How do you want to grow each year? We should do a little bit at a time. I was talking with a lady. Oh, for you guys who missed it, I was in New Orleans this last week at a conference, and I was talking with a lady. It had nothing. I mean, the conference had nothing to do with homesteading, but I was talking with a lady who has a decent amount of property. I mean, like, she's got over 20 acres, I believe. And she's like, yeah, I garden a bit. Yeah, I haven't quite gotten into preserving or anything, and just eat stuff fresh. And I suppose I could, there probably will be a time coming down the road where maybe we won't be able to get food at the grocery store, and maybe I'll have to think about what to do at that point in time. And I'm thinking, that's not the time to start thinking about it. It's like, we know how fast stuff happened a year and a half ago. It was like within a couple days, the shelves were just wiped clean. People couldn't have access to things. That is not the time to start a garden. Not a time to, go, oh yeah, I always wanted to do that. Maybe I should do that now, because it takes months sometimes for things to grow and develop and get in there and then be able to preserve them and have them on the shelf. So, even if nothing happens, you've got wonderful food for yourself and your family, all that kind of stuff. And so just to be able to enjoy that and then have that little bit of reassurance in the back of your mind. When all of that happened, it was just amazing on how I did not have one single piece of concern when it came to food, because I've been working at that for a while, and I've got a supply that can keep me for a little while. And so when everybody else was just panicking and going crazy, it was like, I don't have to worry about that. And it was like, it was almost a light bulb moment, not quite, because I knew what I have been doing all these years, but just to have it actually happen, be right in front of your face and going, oh my gosh, so okay, Michigan Daffodil, you want to grow berries. Connie, you're putting a shed in where your compost was, and you're moving compost, and also going to add a greenhouse by the garage and plant where the current Wow, those are some great changes this next year. You have grown your urban yard into such a production there. It's just a beautiful. If you guys haven't seen what they've done there, you should go check them out. You guys are really working hard at that. Well, yeah, Anna Marie, where you are, are you in the city limits, or are you out in the country there for your zoning laws? So Connie, in your city, your property is too small for animals. Oh, I didn't know you were vegan for some reason. I don't know. I just kind of. That's okay, Kiri. Hello. Preparing for a week of rain. Oh, there's another tropical storm out there. Oh my goodness. When I was flying back today from New Orleans, my flight went from New Orleans to Houston, and there was such a storm right east of Houston, and I had not been able to get enough internet to get the radar up where I was at the hotel and on the road and stuff, so I didn't get to see exactly what was there. But they said that storm, the ceiling went up to 55,000 feet, And so there's no way the plane could fly over that. They didn't want to take us through it because it was a very powerful storm. So I don't know if that was Pamela that they were talking about or what, but we had to um, fly south over the Gulf of Mexico, all the way down to Corpus Christi, and then back around to the west of coming into Houston from the west to route around that storm. And they had to spend an extra 20 minutes on the ground, giving us more fuel, and then the flight was an extra half an hour long. So I was worried about missing my connection. But I didn't. I made it. So that's why I'm here. If I'd missed my connection, I wouldn't be here. But so Tropical Storm Pamela. Interesting. If it's Pamela, that would probably be coming from, would that have come from the Pacific? Because we're up to V. There's already been a V. I don't know if we're a U, a W. But I know that we're at least at the end of the alphabet for the Atlantic. Your dreams for this year is to get chickens and clear garden lot. You have got your hands full, Anna Marie, absolutely. But those are some great things. Gets a little bit of food going. Alicia, your backyard is mostly full shade. Your front yard is about half shade, half sun. Hard to know what to try to grow. Yep. And you know what you can do with your front yard, because you're in town, right? And so you want it to make it look nice too. Lay it out like it would be landscaped. And instead of the like flowers and shrubs and different things that people would normally grow in there, have that be your vegetables. Your shrub is your tomato plant or something, and or your blueberries or whatever they are. But landscape it out nicely too. Yes, and raised beds can definitely work, but draw out a plan for that so that it is appealing to your neighbors. And also, to front yard, be careful of where the city line goes, because if you start putting in raised beds or some kind of structures and it goes over the city line, they might come and make you rip them up or something. So check that out and make sure that you've got that. But I've seen, I've got friends who've done that, who've just kind of landscaped their front yard into, mixing it with like marigolds and flowers and then vegetables, and it produces amazingly. And they've got all that extra land that they use. Also, maybe consider trimming some of the trees or something if they're getting like super branchy and reaching out, and maybe a little bit of trimming can give you a little bit more light. I don't know, just a thought. So Pamela's in the Pacific by Mexico. Oh, okay. So hopefully just watering that one. Okay, so it's going to be crossing over and giving you some moisture up there. Okay. Oh, good tip, Michigan Daffodil, for Alicia. I'm a little behind here, sorry. Very good. Love a greenhouse. Yes. I know. I can only do some. Hey, Dave, how are you doing? Southern Ohio Prepping. You're in the forest. Yes, you are. So you'll have to clear enough trees to get sun, to get enough, your minimum 6 to 8 hours of sun a day. So yeah, that's going to take a lot of clearing out. Are you going to try to chip a lot of your wood so that you've got your own mulch, wood chip mulch stuff going on? I'm just wondering. I'm not telling you that you have to do it, but I was just like, oh, that would be, you've got all of that available. That'd be so great. So keep Mexico. Okay, we definitely will. Thanks, Kiri. It told you no about rabbits unless you do indoor pet rabbits. Well, that's going to make it real easy to harvest then, won't it? If you keep them indoors as pets. Oh. You think that's the storm that hit you last night and this morning? Okay. Yeah, because when I went to look out on the radar when I got home, I didn't see anything like in eastern Texas or even western Louisiana. So I don't know where it went to, but there was definitely a high ceiling there. Pamela's in the Pacific. Okay. Okay, so if you have neighbors that are already doing raised beds, that's great. You're welcome. Connie, your city said you can put them there on a section, but they need to be used and you have to be ready for it to be taken out. I think I missed something with that. Doing the rabbits or something? Your current greenhouse zipper is broke on it. Oh, you're talking about your greenhouse maybe. Oh, Kiri, I'm so sorry. Your your goats are near and dear to you, so I'm sorry about that. Hey Patty, how are you? So this book is just really good. It goes through telling you like what all the vegetables need, and everything, and even grow your own beer. So homegrown hops, if you're into doing beer and wine and stuff like that. I love this. It says plant your own wheat field. Isn't that cool? It's like take a section of grow some wheat and then harvest it. Okay, one gardener in Vermont, here you go, Northerners, attests to having planted 30 pounds of winter wheat on 1/8 of an acre. So 1/8 is smaller than my whole yard. So he put all of that on 1/8 of an acre and harvested 250 pounds of grain. That's a lot of flour. Says even if you have a front yard that's 20 by 50 feet, you could plant 6 pounds of wheat and harvest nearly 50 pounds of grain. So you get 50 pounds of wheat in a 20 by 50 spot. And expanding everything for monsters. All the raised beds. Okay. The are fiendly fighters. The thing is in planning your homestead and any changes you want to have, make sure that these are things that you're going to need and you're going to use. It's like, don't think about, I'm going to put wheat in here and grow this wheat and get 50 pounds, of wheat in this whole thing. But you don't bake bread or you don't eat a lot of bread or anything like that. So why grow that if you are, gluten-free or something, or if you're, just can't tolerate that. Same thing with tomatoes. If you are allergic to tomatoes, don't grow them. So don't think that these are things that all these vegetables or fruits are things that you absolutely have to do. But it's amazing what you can get out of a small area. You plant your own wheat. You can plant your own corn to dry to have cornmeal and different things like that. So it's just like so cool. Hey, Heather. Yeah, I'm glad that you made it. Yep, you could do that. If you're growing less tomatoes next year. Yeah, you put up a lot of tomatoes this year. Oh my goodness. More than you're going to go through in probably 2 years. Oh, yes, grow to eat. Lots of illegals hear me trying to get home. That is true, Kiri, absolutely. I wish you could grow your own chicken feed. Exactly. That's, and that's kind of always my thought with everybody who's raising chickens and raising goats and the different things like that. And they go through all of this feed to keep these animals alive. But it's like, what happens when the feed supply dries up? What are you going to do? Because then you can't feed your animals. I mean, you'd have to harvest your animals then, but then you're out of being able to get eggs and, milk and different things like that. So those are some of the things that if you have extra space, like Patty said, maybe think about trying to put some grains in there to help supplement even their diet for their food. So your husband is going through your salsa so fast, so honestly. Well, he loves it. That's great. If when they love it like that, they're a great supporter of what you're doing then. Super. If the feed dries up, you'll eat your hands. Yeah, there you go, Dave. Absolutely, which is a great thing to do. 98 tomato plants. Oh my goodness. That is super amazing. Absolutely. So one of the things, and I did my garden beds this way for like almost 20 years. So if you're like, oh, I have to do raised beds, and I can't do this. I started out with what I call them raised rows, but here they say with the raised bed. So what you do is you get your soil all ready and, try to get it all the weeds out and the grass and different things, get it all nice and tilled up and ready, and incorporate like your compost and different things like that in there. And then you mark off how wide you want your rows. And then you rake up, it's hard to hold this and point at the same time. You rake from that string, you rake it up into the center from both sides. So like here, you would rake up from here, and then you'd rake up from here. And you kind of make a mound in the middle. So you've got like a ditch here on either side and then a mound. And then you take your rake and you flatten out that mound. And that becomes your raised bed or your raised row. And so what I did is I planted annual ryegrass in between these. So, and then I would just weed whip them, but so that I would have, kind of a natural mulch in there. I could walk through it and not get all muddy and all that kind of stuff. It helped keep the weeds down, helped keep moisture in, all that kind of thing. So anyway, it's there's like no expense to doing that. So it's just preparing it, making your raised rows. And the beauty of that is that you're not walking on the raised row, you're walking between them. And it's easy to weed, easy to do all that kind of stuff. So I did it, like I said, for a long, long, long time until I built my first set of beds. And so under a bed, oh, you're talking about where to store things. So it has to be in a coat closet. You don't have any doors on any of the closets. You have a tomato plant with green tomatoes on it. Didn't plant. Okay. Yeah. Well, Dave, you've got that guy that that's got an unlimited source of wood. So that is very true. It does take a lot of dirt. It does take a lot. I will attest to that. If you can, do your hugelkultur within the bed, like you said, what I'm going to do with my squash garden beds, put down cardboard first, then wood, and then fill in some little bit of dirt, and then put in some straw, and then put in some more dirt, and then put in compost and layer of leaves, and just layer it up, and then you don't need as much dirt. But if you can find all this other stuff, it kind of fills in and does a really good job. Could you cover crop with a low growing plant like clover in between the beds, or does it creep? I've never used clover, but you probably could. It would be easy enough to, I don't think it would grow that fast that it would creep into the beds and take over. I think you could control it pretty easily. Um, and that certainly could work. Make sure it's like an annual clover so that it's not continuing to come up all over your garden when you don't want it to for the years to come. That's why I really like annual ryegrass, and I'm going to be putting some in my beds this week if I can get to it. So being gone for a week here has been, it kind of puts you behind when you've got winter prep to get done, but it's okay. I needed it very much, and it was a great trip. Rocks, yeah. Well, Kira, you've got abundance of rocks there too. I'm planning raised beds, but first year they will be straw bales. Oh, there you go. Very good. Absolutely. Um, Great idea. And you could use living paths. Just okay. Oh, very, very cool. It does break down so quickly. It really does. No-till growers, yeah. It's but it is amazing what you can put in there that will create so much. So, Dave, you said that your idea down the line is to have some raised beds. So, what in this year your garden grew? I mean, you put in more fencing and more trellises than you had the year before. What is your plan for this year? And anybody else, like in town or an apartment or something? Do you have any ideas of what you want to do? Well, you guys already know a lot of my growth for this next year, my squash garden. So I'm hoping I can get it at least put together before the ground all freezes. It's going to be a lot of work out there. So but I've got a lot of other things I have to tend to also. So it's, I've got the materials, so it's going to be, um, when as soon as I can get it done. But so Connie, you're going to do corn, Three Sisters type. Okay. You're really, really using every inch of your yard, and I think that's fantastic. You'll be working on the terrace around the veg garden now. Oh, great. Filling between the fruit trees with random perennials. Excellent. Wonderful. Are the fruit trees taking off pretty well? Another person who has done something similar to what Dave is doing, because they had a hillside and they terraced it and did a whole permaculture thing going on there. And that's like having the fruit trees and then putting in all the berry bushes and then filling in with herbs and perennials and then annuals and just kind of letting everything, it looks like a huge mess almost, at the by the time things are done growing in the fall. But I think this is her third year, but it's Little Mountain Ranch in Chelsea, and she worked hard to get that going. But she said that this year it's finally coming into its own and doing what she wanted it to do. But she had a huge plan. So your tallest trees are about 6 feet. Okay. There's always work if you want to be self-sufficient, but learning to do it little by little and understanding your limits. Exactly, Patty. Exactly. And I'm by myself. There's not a whole lot there's a lot I can do, but I have my limits of how much I can get done. And I have to definitely keep myself in check with that. So fun, wild stuff is colonizing. Ooh. Well, there you go. That is awesome. But yeah, Patty has an excellent point there. Figuring out what it is that you want to be able to grow, and looking at your property in like a whole different light, and just kind of scrutinizing it. And it's like um, seeing if there are things that you really need to have there, or if you can move them, or if you can plant something else there instead, or to just get really, really creative with things. I think it's yes, Connie, it is a good thing that your hubby helps you. That's for sure. Um, it's like dark already. Oh, goodness sakes. What is it? Another 3 weeks? We're going to have a time change? That's going to be hard to get used to. It's going to feel like 8 o'clock right now. um, but yeah, just to get that planning going and the dreaming, I just wanted to find out what you guys, what kind of things you had that maybe can help everybody else, give some ideas to one another, and because we know each other. And so I think that would be really fun. Gil just cut up one of his last cantaloupe. Ooh, awesome. So you let weeds grow in your garden and stuff you planted. Mullen is, oh, there you go. Yes, the light of days is getting shorter. Exactly. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming and joining me on Monday evening again. I am really, really tired. I'm just kind of like zoning out here, but I am probably going to hit the hay early tonight and get some good sleep. But yeah, safe trip back. And if you guys want to see pictures of last night, went on um, a steam paddle boat ride thing. We had dinner on the as a private party kind of thing on the paddle boat. It's called the City of New Orleans, and went up and down the Mississippi. So I've got pictures on my Instagram that I posted. So if you guys go and check those out, and it was a good time. It really was. It was a beautiful evening, absolutely gorgeous. And so thank you so much. Oh, Anna Marie, I'm so glad that you were able to get here too. Thank you, Patty. Same here. It did go fast. It really did. So you guys take care. God bless. Always have hope. And I will try to be on next weekend or next Monday. I will be away from home on Monday night, but I'm going to try to set up where I'm at. If not, I will leave a note on the community page and on Instagram. So, because I'm just not doing Facebook anymore. So, happy Indigenous Peoples Day, yes. Oh, I know, Patty, I know. And I really wanted to go to HOA, and so, but it was what it was. I was already committed to this long ago. So anyway, you guys have a great week and love you all. Bye-bye.